Chairman, my lords, ladies and gentlemen, praise be to God. Let it be remembered that on the 25th day of October, in the year of our Lord, 1945, His Most Gracious Majesty, the late King George VI, and Her Most Gracious Majesty, the late Queen Elizabeth, honoured with their presence our celebration of the 100th anniversary of the foundation of the Royal College of Chemistry, which was the forerunner of Imperial College of Science, Technology and Medicine. The governors of the college thereupon resolved that this event should be commemorated each year by an assembly of the governors, the rector, the professors, the readers, the lecturers, and those in statu pupillari, as act of loyal homage to our visitor, the reigning sovereign, as a mark of gratitude for all those who have helped the college, and as a sign of personal rededication to the pursuit of natural science and its application to the well-being of mankind. Let us remember, therefore, all those who have served the college from its beginning, in council and in deeds, and particularly our founder, His Royal Highness Albert the Prince Consort. Let us now rededicate ourselves, in humility, with God's help, to a seeking for the truth, to the pursuit of natural knowledge, to the application of this knowledge to the service of our fellow men in all parts of the world. Floreat Imperial Collegium. God save the Queen.
My Lord Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all today to our commemoration ceremony in this great hall. This is our opportunity to recognise and pay tribute to the talent and knowledge we have gathered here today. It really is a day for celebration. Having been rector for almost 2 years now, I remain in no doubt that Imperial College is among the very best in the world in the fields of science, engineering and medicine. We have a unique array of disciplines and excellent staff and students who together but further the frontiers of knowledge. During the year, our staff have continued to win national and international awards for excellence in their fields. Many became Fellows of the Royal Society, the Royal Academy of Engineering, and the Academy of Medical Sciences. Congratulations to them all. At the beginning of this month, we announced the result of our annual academic promotions exercise, and we now have 30 new professors, 48 new readers, and 31 new senior lecturers. So the academic community is thriving, and future students can look forward to continued excellence in their tuition. We began to pay enhanced minimum salaries to our professors and lecturers last year. Over the past few months, we have extended that programme to include other categories of staff. It is vital that we seek to reward excellence and to ensure that staff see academia as a financially realistic option. Imperial also fared well in the National Assessment of Research Quality, being rated above all other UK universities for excellence. Those of you graduating today reflect that academic excellence. As Imperial scientists, clinicians and engineers, you are now equipped with the skills and the knowledge to make a vitally important contribution to society. A society in which knowledge is becoming a major driving force, a society undergoing rapid scientific and technological change. Such a society needs to be independently and correctly informed about scientific, medical, environmental and engineering issues. You, as graduates of a world-class institution, will make your contribution to a global society. Imperial is genuinely an international place. We have students and staff from 130 countries around the world and are very proud of our global connections. We have major input into major global research programs and attract significant funding as a result. This year, we have received £20 million from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to work in sub-Saharan Africa to control schistosomiasis a parasitic disease that causes chronic ill health in 200 million people in developing countries. Our partners in this are the World Health Organization and Harvard University. In biological sciences, Professor Andrea Crisanti, Dr. George Dimopoulos, and Professor Bob Sinden and his PhD student Dale Rain are members of an international team of researchers who recently announced a significant move forward in efforts to combat malaria. Reporting in the leading international journals, Nature and Science, they revealed the genetic sequences and resulting analyses of the mosquito and the malarial parasite genomes. In a unique collaboration just completed, 37 scientists from the Chinese Academy of Sciences have been working with instrument builders and researchers from Imperial and the European Space Agency in a converted seminar room of our physics department. Together, they are building the hardware to go inside a Chinese space satellite, the brain of the satellite, if you like. And this is set to be carried on board the Chinese Academy of Sciences Double Star mission, which leaves next year. Another extraordinary example of our international collaboration. In competition with some of Europe's best universities, one of our spin-out companies, of which we now have 57, won the first annual Hewlett-Packard New Ventures competition. Intellectual capital is the foundation of an institution like ours. We continue to strive to capitalize on it in many different ways. The Entrepreneurs Program for students and staff was launched in January this year and is proving to be a great success. This year also, the college's entrepreneurial ventures raised significant funding from a number of sources, including Exploit Technologies of Singapore, Nico Principal Investments, and the Fleming family, to finance our technology transfer exercise and also adding to very much needed college funds. These international partnerships are of very great value to us. If we are going to continue to attract and retain the best staff and students from around the world, it is essential that we invest in people and infrastructure. This year, the college has an operating budget of almost £400 million, of which only 30% comes directly from the government. In addition, we will be spending up to £100 million on buildings and facilities. In fact, so widespread is our building program that the whole area of our campuses appears to be like a building site. I do apologize for this, but at the same time, we must relish the fact that we are building for the benefit of future students and staff. On Exhibition Road here in South Kensington, the new Tanaka Business School and entrance to the college is our most significant project. And I'm happy to tell you that since the announcement of Gary Tanaka's magnificent £27 million donation 2 years ago on this very occasion, the project is proceeding to plan and on budget. By 2004, we shall not only have a business school to rival the best in the world, but also an entrance to the college worthy of our students, staff, neighbours, and you, our alumni. Let's hope that many of you will return and walk through that entrance, perhaps to continue your studies here, for today should be but a milestone in a process of lifelong learning, or to share in that international intellectual capital that makes Imperial so special. Many of you will have heard about our discussions with University College London and a possible merger. The media coverage which greeted our announcement a few days ago could certainly be described as global. A lot has been said in the press about a new super university, certainly the largest in the UK and one of the best in the world, and so on. But let me be quite clear about one thing. Imperial College is already super. It's already special. It's already world-class, and I am very proud to serve as its rector. However, I truly believe that if we are to compete globally, we will need to have both critical mass to compete with the best universities in the world, and we will need greater financial flexibility and pull-in power. Of course, a merged institution would be big, but it would not be a factory farm for students who studied there, as some papers have suggested. It would be an educational powerhouse where students had access to the very best teaching and research facilities, the best sport and recreational facilities, based in one of the greatest cities in the world. However, the merger is not about money. It's not about buildings or campuses or sports fields. It's about people, the people who make up a university, its students and its staff. And the merger would be about empowering those people to achieve their potential. And that is my vision for the future. What we're doing now is entering a period of wide consultation. All students, staff, alumni, and interested parties are being encouraged to take part. The merger website, which is now up and running, will give up-to-date information, and there's also a mailbox for comment. We will then have a decision on whether or not to proceed with the merger before the end of the year. Talking of the future reminds me that this occasion is all about the future, your bright, promising, and challenging futures. May I, on behalf of all Imperial College community, wish you all the very best. And now, I'd like to give you all the opportunity to thank your families and friends and guests for their support towards your success. Thank you.
Associates of the Royal College of Science.
Chairman, as Dean for the Faculties of Physical Sciences and Life Sciences, I call on the representatives here assembled of the newly elected Associates of the Royal College of Science and those who have been awarded first degrees of the University to come forward to be presented to you, Chairman, in token of the congratulations of the Court and of all members of the Imperial College. May I ask the audience to reserve applause until the end of a group of associates. Niraj Abesingha, Ajay Agarwal, Simon Ahmad, Sarah Al-Kawani, Daphne Barbalis, awarded the Evans Medal for Inorganic Chemistry. Neil Baker, Adrian Badas, Justin Berry, Karim Balu, Mark Biri, Nishta Budu, Emily Bridges, Robert Cade, Charles Carter, Daniel Castro Harmon, Wing Lee Chan, Magashlin Chetty, Louise Chin, Henry Chu, Joanna Churchill, Daniel Clifton Climus, Matthew Collins, Richard Cooper, William Crane, Charlotte Dadswell, James Davies, Mark Edwards, Alistair Falconer, Alexander Faraday, Claire Francis, Peter Fraser, Lindsay Galliard, Emma Grange, Barnaby Greenland, Richard Greenwood, Charlotte Grigson awarded the HVA Briscoe Prize in Inorganic Chemistry. Saba Hakim awarded the Governor's Prize for Joint Honours with Management. Abu Hanifa, Melanie Hanvey, Ruth Hay, Amy Holmes, Philip Huang, Fatima Yu, Siva Krishnadasan, Ivona Kulasevic, Kenneth Lamb, Egwin Leon, Joan Lim, Sing Mack, Kenneth Markison, Takayuki Miyoshi, Amir Mahataram. Xavier Moulet awarded the Unilever Prize in Physical Chemistry. Sharia Naqshbandi, Stephen Oldfield, Hina Patel, Rishanarian Persad, Deborah Pick. James Pullen awarded the Alfred Bader Prize in Organic Chemistry. Matthew Punn, Mohammed Rahman. Maud Reiter awarded the Pfizer Prize for Organic Chemistry and the Governor's MSI Prize in Chemistry. Margarita Rodriguez Lenz, Catherine Rolland, Joanna Russell, Brett Sanderson, Sumathi Santalingam, Anita Shirke, Andrew Smith, Paul Sullivan, Hugh Tanner, Kieran Taylor, Sasitorn TV Rapania, Chulanapa Varevaida, Jonathan Ward, Samuel White, Richard Winkle, David Wong, Grace Wu, Graham Andrews, Claire Angle, Anne Arend, Rachel Ashton, Nadia Awad, Piero Basu, Jonathan Bestwick, Kulwant Bhatia. Katie Bloor awarded the Tensor Society Mathematics Prize. Simon Brackenborough, Colin Bradley, Helen Braga, Jonathan Brenner, Kate Brooks, Louise Brown, Oliver Burnage, Paul Cartwright, Michael Carver, Man Chan. Tom Chantry awarded a Gerald Whitrow Prize. Orpita Chaudhary, Yuan Sung Chiang, Chun Ho Chow, Chun Man Chow, Priscilla Chow, John Clark, Thomas Cobb, Matthew Cocken. Michael Coulon awarded an Institute of Mathematics and its Applications Prize. Laura Crichton, Louise Davies, Philip Deakin, Jessica Dean, Alexander Denbraber, Stephen Dewar, Hardeep Dogra, Ramandeep Dosanjh, Hannah Edwards, Simon Evans, Guillaume Evrard, Riaz Faruqi, Catherine Farrington, Renuka Fernandez, Neil Fitzgerald, Daniel Forsdyke, Wendy Fung, Yusun Fung, Lalia Gorbanajad, Mariam Gorbanajad, Siddhartha Ghoshal, Alexandros Gotsoupoulous, Trevor Graham, Shanshan Gu, Karen Harbord, Timothy Harbour, Jeffrey Howe, Helen Hawkins, Justin Hayward, Zhang Kong He, Sally Hewitt, Douglas Hine, Jialun Huang, Christos Iradiakonou, Toby Inkster, Oliver Jeeves, Adam Jerusalemsky. Rosanna John awarded the Royal College of Science Association Prize and a Henry Johnson Memorial Prize. Amir Jones, Dylan Juti, Leon Kalmakrian, Senia Kara, Loku Gamaj Karunasena, Loises Kazanfaniotis, sorry about that, Libby Kinsey, Jessica Klinger, Sukaina Kurji, awarded a BT Group Project Prize in Computing and Governor's Prize in Mathematics and Computer Science. Mark Labun, Ivy Lam, Wing Chung La, Stephen Lawson, Thomas Leach, Cheryl Lee, Pauline Lee, Vincent Lee, Michael Lee Kian Vong. Jamie Lenton awarded a BT Group Project Prize in Computing. Paul Martin, Andrew Martin, Evie Mataru, Jonathan Matthews, William Mitchell, Andrew Murray, Yasamin Mutada, Alim Nasser, Huiming Eng, Thomas Oliver, Karin Olsen, Pui Orr, Stephen Payne, Joe Pang, Martin Pitcock. Cecile Poirier awarded an Institute of Mathematics and its Applications Prize. James Poots, Bronwyn Pope. Kim Randall awarded a Governor's Prize in Mathematics and Computer Science. Mohammed Raza, Jolie Riley, James Roberts, Uzma Saeed, Yekaterina Sajina, Oliver Scarmans, Lindsay Schofield, Oliver Scott Simons, Alok Senik, Jamie Sargent, Mohith Shastri, Thivendaran Shiva Shankaran, awarded a BT Group Prize in Project Prize in Computing. Sorry about that. Michael Simmons, Edmund Smith, Matthew Smith, Conan Stanger, Henry Strausser, Kevin Tam. Lin Yitan awarded a Governor's Prize in Mathematics and Computer Science. Sivatana Muller, Kim Yukam Tang, Martin Taylor, Alexander Thomas, Sukhveer Tour, Max Torpy, Anastasius Sentis, Anastasia Ivanova, Christopher Walker, Oliver Warren, Katie Wheel. Jennifer Weinstock awarded a Governor's BSc Prize in Mathematics and a Hyman Levy Memorial Prize. Michael Wilcox, Lorinda Woodhead, Oliver Agar, May Ahmed, Fuad Ali, Stephen Alley, Tabitha Arneson, Helen Arney, Christopher Aronson, Matthew Bailey, Jonathan Ball, Simon Barker, Rosemary Beckett, Richard Benninger, Jules Burks, Edward Cartwright, Paul Chambers, Amir Chowdhury, Simon Child, Timothy Clifton awarded the Governor's BSc Prize in Physics, Stephen Cohen, Benjamin Cook, Burley Cumberland, Gemma Davis, Robert Davies, Virginia de Greville, James Deere, Hamil Dinas Chandra, Alistair Downs, Catherine Dyer Perry, Mark Dimmock, Kelly Edgar, Jonathan Ellis, Rebecca Fisher, William Flanagan, Mun Fong, Lucien Gaye, Benjamin Gibbons, Thomas Gilbert, Christopher Gooder, Paul Grant, Reuben Greet Smith. Catherine Grieve awarded the David Smith Prize in Physics Applied to Medicine. Andrew Hammond, Simon Hardy, Charles Hargreaves, Christopher Harvey, Christoph Hasselwandler, Alexandra Head, Richard Heath, Joseph Hilling, Peter Holt, Mohammed Hamouda, Elizabeth Jackson, Benjamin Johnson, Abigail Kennedy, Nicholas Kennedy, Sarah Q, Alistair Knott, Sunil Kumar, Peter Kime, Peter Larkin, Achilles Lazarides, James Lever, Anthony Lung, Yi Lim, Fraser Lott, Roderick Lubbock, Nicholas MacDonald, Richard Mayle, Mukesh Makwana, Rod Phil Mann, Gregory Mann, Helen Marshall, Anthony Mayhew, Kerry McCann, Owen McKenna, Alexander Meekins, Yasuyuki Miyoshi, Benjamin Moore, Naveed Nassar, Naveed Naz. Michael Niblock awarded a Tassella Prize for Software. Christopher Nicholas, Michael Nikolich, Maria Nordstrom, Jason Nerona, James Notaras, Paul Parham, Konrad Paskovich, Alpesh Patel, Hazita Patel, Christopher Penfold. Paulo Pires Pacheco awarded the Calendar Prize. Oliver Potter, Edward Price, Esteban Prieto, Benjamin Prophet, Scott Prosser, Jack Rapley, Andre Reffig, Sarah Ravel, Ross Richardson, Catherine Riding, Christopher Roberts, Ruth Roberts, Joseph Robinson, Justin Roger, Till Schultz, Dietrich Martin Sietzen, Catherine Seymour, Andrew Skinner, Peter Stacey, John Stevenson, Adam Stobbs, James Story, John Stratford, Gemma Swain, Clifford Talbot, Mark Tame, Christopher Tan, Catherine Taylor, Sri Thirumajah, Thomas Tibbets, Som Tui. Jonathan Tyrrell awarded a BT Group Project Prize in Computing. Hock Wan Chan Chung awarded a Governor's MSci Prize in Physics. Glenn Whiteman, Andrew Whittington, Jacqueline Wielkopolska, Alexandra Williams, Damon Williams, Charlotte Wise, Craig Withers, David Yu, Kazim Zafar, Thomas Foxall, James Parker, Stuart McDermott, Russell Johnson, Eleanor Bucks, Sunila Pala, Philip Burford, Tara O'Leary, Alexander Thomas, Stuart Davis, Petrus Walden, Ramnath Ramanan, Ruth Chappell.
Further forward. I suppose, Chairman, that when you have no recognised birthplace, you can settle easily anywhere, even Surrey, where our alumnus, a new fellow, an American citizen, has lived happily for more than 20 years. But how did this come about? Gary Tanaka's grandparents were Japanese who immigrated to the United States, an act of some courage and resolution in leaving the close ties of Japanese culture for the entrepreneurial atmosphere of the States. But they made good, and our fellow's own story suggests that these qualities were firmly embedded in the family genes. His own parents, having grown up in the States, were, however, caught up in the American reaction to Pearl Harbor, when anyone with Japanese origins was incarcerated in what was termed, somewhat euphemistically, relocation camps. It was in such a camp, in a windswept corner of Idaho, that our fellow was born. Although his memory can just recall the barbed wire and gun towers, the camp has long since vanished, and with it any recognizable birthplace. So hometown was in fact Seattle, where he grew up and where his parents renewed and rebuilt their business. So successfully that it enabled Gary to proceed from high school in Seattle to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in Boston. The Sputnik area had stimulated his interest in science and technology, but with a particular interest in mathematics, and he had graduated from MIT with a science degree in 1966. Having written an undergraduate thesis in fluid mechanics, our fellow wanted to do postgraduate work, but away from the atmosphere of MIT. Aware that Imperial College was strong in his field of interest, he came to London. But he admits that London beckoned in its own right. This was the time of the Beatles, the miniskirt, and parading up and down Carnaby Street and the King's Road. And as he says, we, note the we, had just won the World Cup. They were good times. London was the fun place to be. Nevertheless, the glamour of the swinging 60s must have contrasted sharply with life within Imperial College. In those days, the mathematics department was housed in the old Huxley building, located in Exhibition Road, but now long since handed over to the Victoria and Albert Museum. Here, the temperamental lifts, the high-ceilinged postgraduate room, inadequately heated by a small electric fire, and where you had to sit on your hands to keep them warm while you watched your breath rise, all provided a strong contrast to the swinging London outside. But what excellent character building it must have been. And our fellow had his compensations. Having worked on his postgraduate thesis in the mornings, Gary Tanaka would head for the American Embassy in Grosvenor Square in the afternoon to read the Wall Street Journal, the Herald Tribune, and all the investment journals he could lay hands on, in time for the opening of the US stock market, an area of activity which had long fascinated him. In those days, the world equity markets were booming, and it seemed easy to make money. He did not realize until later that bull markets do not last forever. The other interest he developed at that time, and which he regards as akin to the investment world, was horse racing. When not in Grosvenor Square, he could be found in the Silver Ring at Sandown, studying the form. Graduating with his PhD and DIC in 1970, our fellow returned to the States, working as a fund manager in a San Francisco bank for most of the 70s, moving into an investment management corporation towards the end of the decade. In 1980, having watched the success of Silicon Valley, he founded, with a partner, Amerindo Investment Advisors Incorporated, a venture capitalist company that invests in American emerging technology companies, a reflection of his passionate interest in technology and entrepreneurship. With his love of London, he and his partner decided to set up office in London, initially in Curzon Street, but now relocated to Upper Grosvenor Street, virtually opposite his old stamping ground of the American Embassy, but in a style considerably more elegant than that of the Embassy. This London location, with its good communication links, suited both his customers and himself, although with growing success he had to open offices in New York and San Francisco. And successful it has been, with the company being valued last year at £8.5 billion. As I fear is too often the case, the college does not always find it easy to maintain contact with its alumni. But who would have thought that the boy from Seattle would be living quietly in Kingston-upon-Thames for the last couple of decades? Fortunately, our alumni do not necessarily forget their time at the college. In our fellow's case, this may have been helped by his marrying a member of the college's administrative staff, a lady from our finance division. Indeed, I have wondered whether it was this additional financial expertise that has really underpinned his undoubted success. A chance contact a couple of years ago, just at the time Dr. Tanaka was contemplating putting some of his funds to what he terms a good use, gave him the opportunity of saying thank you to the college. And what a splendid thank you it is to be given a donation of £25 million to build new premises for the management school, together with a further £2 million to fund a chair in internet technology in the Faculty of Engineering. And what a splendid example it is for all our alumni. Gary Tanaka's generosity is matched only by his modesty. He has never sought to be personally identified with the new building, and indeed it was only after a little gentle arm twisting that he agreed that the college could rename the management school the Tanaka Business School. The building is now beginning to rise in Exhibition Road, and we look forward to its opening in the early part of 2004. Apart from corporate giving, Gary now has the time and ability to indulge his other great interest, that is horse racing. He now owns some 30 racehorses, mostly based in the USA, although he tends to buy them in Europe. Applying again his investment instincts, he does not follow the usual pattern of aspiring owners in buying horses with the Derby in mind. He buys 3-year-olds and races them in the States, where there are many more suitable races than in the UK and Europe. The colour, the excitement, and the traditions of racing excite him. But for him, the great challenge, he says, is the same as with investment, remaining solvent. And that he has certainly done. The holder already of the diploma of Imperial College, it is fitting and timely that the highest award the college can bestow on persons of distinction and with whom there is a close association is conferred on our successful and generous alumnus. Chairman, I invite you to confer on the modest and self-effacing Dr. Gary Allen Tanaka, the Fellowship of Imperial College.
Graduates of the School of Medicine.
Chairman, as head of undergraduate medicine, I call on the representatives here assembled of those who have been awarded first degrees of the university to come forward to be presented to you, Chairman, in token of the congratulations of the court and of all members of Imperial College. Bachelors of Science. Shazia Ali. Dominique Allwood, Ricky Amin, Yao Antwi Yabora, Nicholas Barnett, Hisham Butt, Bobby Chan, Yi Chang, Natalie DeBass, Jasvinder Dhaliwal, Satinder Dami, Nicholas Evans, Alia Fahmy, Mohammed Hassan, and recipient of the T. Watts Eden Prize, Claire Head, Asif Hirani, Alexander Hussey, Mark Jacklin, Robert Kay, Sabrina Kalak, Hayat Khan, Mohit Khan, Alistair Morris, Bal Nguyen, Christopher Naranjan, Alison Ogilvie, Sabrina Pau, Puvana Periyasamy, Catherine Fistermuller, Amit Raj, Karthik Rajakulendran, Nishanthan Rajakumaraswamy, Shanthi Rajaratnam, Sharmila Rao, Yasmin Rajak, Kathleen Rose, Sheila Saravanai Prabhu, Deepa Shantikumar, Catherine Sisson, Kevin Stewart, Siadat El-Badri, Salina Kumar, Thomas Evans. Bachelors of Medicine and Bachelors of Surgery, Shazad Ilyas. Jatinder Kaur, Robert Slater, Rachel Abbott, Aliro Ajani, Bhutan Ahmadi, recipient of the Clinical Pharmacology and Therapeutics Prize, Proxime Accessit, the Meadows Prize, and the Alan J. Stolo Respiratory Medicine Prize, Timothy Ahmed. Kashif Akhtar, Leah Ali, Helen Anderson, Sibtain Anwar, Sarah Bailey, Catherine Barlow, Ramandeep Basra, recipient of a Faculty of Medicine Prize for overall performance in finals and the Gordon M. Holmes Prize, Rachel Bastainen. Caroline Beck, Mark Bement, Ashish Bala, Nadu Chandra Bhattacharya, Suman Biswas, Andrew Blees, Timothy Bonici, William Bugg, Edward Carabine, Claire Cassar, Hardeep Chahal, Ivy Chan, Georgina Charlwood, Debamoy Chatterjee, recipient of the Standard Cade Prize, Kuldeep Chint, Stephen Chu, Preeti Chabra, Simon Church, Caroline Coates, recipient of the Calvi Prize in Chemical Pathology, Sonwong Kushak, Alice Donchak, Jennifer Davidson, recipient of the William Travers Prize, jointly, Sarah Davis, Elizabeth Dawson, Rachel DeCoe, Dinesh De Silva, Michael DeVille, Rachel Dixon, Dima El Shakawi, Carrie-Anne Yui, Farah Farouk Abbas, Jennifer Ferrant, Samuel Fishpool, Peter Fitzmaurice, Gordon Fletcher, Sophia Francis, Uttara Ghosh, William Gossage, Rachel Greaves, Natalie Green, Amandeep Grawal, Lakvir Grawal, Clemens Guth, Shaista Hafiz, Katayun Haji Bagheri, Omid Halsi, Alana Hari, Simon Hesseldine, Trevor Hedges, Katrina Helfert, Laura Hems, Victoria Hill, Melanie Hirsch, Gillian Hughes, Natasha Hughes, Christina Huey, Rizwan Hussain, Philippa Hussey, Abu Safian Jabbar, Faranaz Jamil, Catherine Johnson, Timothy Jones, Webav Joshi, Jacqueline Kanga, Amit Karya, Jayanthan Karunatham, Rachel Kessi Adu, Abdullah Khan, Farah Khan, Shamin Khan, Taha Khan, Michael Koo, Mi Ling Kong, Manish Kumar, Priyan Landam, Ka Lee, Gareth Lewis, Cheryl Lobo, Sansi Lowe, Benjamin Loxton Edwards, Alexander Mackay, Ian Mariswaran, Jayanthan Manoharan, Daisy Mansouri, Jonathan Margono, James Martin, Manmeet Matharu, Jennifer McNeese, Anua Mia, Gemma Miles, Alexander Miras, Katie Mitchell, Wan Leong Mo, Jamil Moledina, Rosa Montero, Caroline Moore, Sophie Morris, Paul Moxie, Sasha Moyes, Marumbo Matega, Nabila Mughal, Davinder Nagal, Pierre Nassa, Jonahan Nakuna Raja, Tom Newth, Natasha Newton, Monica Nuvoloni, David O'Callaghan, Elizabeth O'Donovan, Joanna Oakshott, Rishi Pabari, recipient of a Faculty of Medicine Prize for overall performance in finals and the Clinical Pharmacology and Therapeutics Prize, Sandeep Panika, Christopher Parks, Deepa Patel, Prashant Patel, Sachin Patel, Suvik Paul, Helen Payne, Andrea Pierce, Lashan Pieris, Amanda Percy, James Phillips, Jennifer Price, Sarah Rabi, Sanji Rajakulendran, Sheikh Rashid, Roger Ria, Richard Reed, Rebecca Rees, Philip Riley, Julia Richardson, Michelle Ridgway, Fariz Rizal, Elizabeth Robinson, and recipient of the Alan J. Stolo Respiratory Medicine Prize, Proxime Accessit, Lorna Robinson, Emma Rowland, Barnaby Ryler, Sami Sadek, Belraj Sandhu, Nigel Sargent, David Sargent, Marissa C., recipient of the HWC Vines Prize, Proxime Accessit, Catherine Sell, recipient of the Glaser Prize in Surgery, Benoy Shah, Prerna Sharma, Anjali Sheth, recipient of the William Travers Prize, jointly, Farhana Shora, Tracy Simos, Dinesh Siva Prasad, James Skipworth, Andrew Smith, Julian Smith, Yuko Smith, awarded the Frederick Bird Prize. Sayawarat Snivongs, Karthik Somasurandram, Saumya Sriharan, Vasuki Shrish Kandaraja, James Stirrup, Nathalie Surin, Richard Symes, Melanie Tan, Saif Tawfiq Abdel Rahman, Ann Tay, Muhanthan Tillai, Simon Thompson, Bianca Teasman, Amit Tiwari, Sally Turner, Modal Wadira, John Walker, recipient of a Faculty of Medicine Prize for overall performance in finals and the Anthony de Rothschild Prize, Sarah Watson, Andrew Wiggum, Ewan Wilson, recipient of the Immunology Prize, Georgina Winnett, Lisa Wolfe, Dominic Wood, Timothy Yap, Kent Yip, Sadaf Zahur, Said Zaidi, Jonathan Nolan, Rory Middleton, Susan Padgham, Katrina Pollock, Catherine Bowen, Sunil Ramasur, Abhijit Hosangadi, Francois Tudor, Claire O'Connell, Ania Asadi Sabet, Amy Farrell, Saoirse Dolly, Mary Weisters, Nicholas Newton, Karen Kapoor, Caroline Knight.
Would all graduates from the degrees of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery please rise and turn to the Declaration of a Doctor in their programme and join me in reading the Declaration of a Doctor. Now, as a new doctor, I solemnly promise that I will do the best of my ability, serve humanity, caring for the sick, preventing disease, promoting good health and alleviating pain and suffering. I recognise that the practice of medicine is a privilege with which comes considerable responsibility, and I will not abuse my position. I will practice medicine with integrity, humility, honesty, and compassion, working with my fellow doctors and other colleagues to meet the needs of my patients. I shall never intentionally do or administer anything to the overall harm of my patients. I will not permit considerations of gender, race, religion, political affiliation, sexual orientation, nationality, or social standing to influence my duty of care. I will oppose policies in breach of human rights and will not participate in them. I will strive to change laws that are contrary to my profession's ethics and will work towards a fairer distribution of health resources. I will assist my patients to make informed decisions that coincide with their own values and beliefs and will uphold patient confidentiality. I will recognise the limits of my knowledge and seek to maintain and increase my understanding and skills throughout my professional life. I will acknowledge and try to remedy my own mistakes and honestly assess and respond to those of others. I will seek to promote the advancement of medical knowledge through teaching and research. I make this declaration solemnly, freely, and upon my honour.
Rector, distinguished fellow, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very conscious that on these ceremonies, several hundred graduands pass across this platform, and 2 or 3 seconds each is barely sufficient to acknowledge their achievement. So before bringing this ceremony to a close, I must very briefly add a few words of my own. And the first and foremost is to offer my own congratulations to all those who've crossed this platform today to mark their graduation, including, of course, our distinguished fellow, and to thank him for his immense contribution to Imperial College. Degrees at Imperial College, as the rector indicated in his opening remarks, have a very high standing internationally and are not acquired easily. They don't grow on trees, which I believe is an added measure of your achievement. And here I'm sure that you would wish me to acknowledge the part played by the many members of the staff here at Imperial who have contributed to your success, and to thank them on your behalf. Thank you. And not least, I should like to offer my personal welcome to your families and friends, who in many cases I know have travelled very long distances indeed to join you for this special day. And more than that, I should like to thank them for the support that they have given you during your time here. For I know well that in any period of long and demanding study, there are moments of uncertainty and doubt, when progress seems uncertain and morale is low. And it is at times like that that families and friends, quite apart from their financial support, can be so important in giving you encouragement. Thank you all very much for that, and thank you for joining us today. And finally, I should like to thank all those who have organized and assisted in this ceremony, including, of course, our choristers and musicians who make such a very special contribution to it. Thank you very much. for all of those of you who are now leaving Imperial, I wish you all success in your professional careers that lie ahead. And as you move forward through those careers, do please keep in touch with Imperial, which above all is concerned with the practical application of emerging science, engineering, and medicine to useful purposes in the world at large. So those contacts with you as you move through your careers become very important. It's part of Imperial's purpose in life. So now is the time to savor and celebrate your success with your families and friends. And when you've done that, please travel safely. Thank you very much.